So, warmly welcome for this important session, professional secretarial and administration skills. Even though the slogan is enter to learn and leave to serve, because right after this training, of course, you will be serving more effectively, even though you are in the same department. But still, let's try to understand some of the international standards, for this particular area of management.
I didn't listen good. What's again, please?
Uh, Actually, I'm talking about, this important training will be supporting your existing job responsibilities within your company, and as well as after having this certification, inshallah, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be more prominent globally, even as a admin manager or as a company secretary for the CEO or for the managing director. So what is your
Yeah.
current position? I mean, you're working in admin department or you have some
No,
other.
I'm document controller. Document
Oh, okay,
controller.
okay, okay. So document
Yeah,
controller.
and
So,
Safania project. Yeah.
okay, mashallah. So, Mr. Muhammad, this is one of the major responsibility of this kind of admin officer or kind of administrator, even to keep the record of all the minutes of meeting, and like the document controller. But of course,
Yeah.
it would be more prominent role, comparing to document
Yeah.
control. But luckily
Yes.
you are already involved in managing documentation, and I'm sure you'll be retaining all the records, related to every sort of project, right?
So
Including all the
yeah.
records related to the project you are managing, right?
Yes. Document and also I now in the last time I work assist
Ah, ah,
HR coordinator there
okay, mashallah,
also.
mashallah, excellent.
Mhm.
So just for a second, can you just turn on your video so I can take a screenshot as an evidence of attendance, for this training? Then we'll start, inshallah.
You means I open video? Okay.
Yes, the video, because I can take a screenshot just as oh, mashallah, so handsome, huh? Mashallah, nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to meet
Okay, now you can turn off because we can avoid from any distortion or
you.
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
so how long you been working as a document controller, like number of years?
Maybe three years like that.
3 years,
3 years.
mashallah, 3 years. Excellent experience, of
Yeah.
course. So, Mr. Muhammad, we're gonna have 8 modules today to discuss, not like in very much detail manner, but since you are already working as a document controller, so most of the things I'm sure you are involved already, but still, let's try to get some better information which are going to support you as a professional further, inshallah. So we have total 8 modules for this training, and number one is let's try to understand the professional standards. Okay, so
Mhm.
professional standards of administration department or as an admin or even as a secretary. Now, the second module is all about getting organized,
Mhm.
okay. Getting organized, we will discuss in detail, and I'll share with you some of the Japanese tools as well, So maybe it
Japanese
will,
tools.
yeah, like
Mhm.
5S, like
Yeah.
might be you're already familiar with that, but I'll still discuss, inshallah. Then the third module, we're going to discuss about effective communication skills.
Okay.
Okay. And of course, we separately will try to distinguish, this business communication skills as a number 4 module. And the number 5
Okay.
module, we're going to discuss about priorities and time management. And that is the most important one, I'm sure, especially the moment you are at the
Yeah.
project. So every second is
Yeah.
valuable. So how you are contributing as an individual and to manage your time, and how you're setting your priorities, like most important or less important or or ignorable, so all priorities, of course, through time management you'll be. So we'll discuss during this module 5. Now the number 6 modules is all about how we're gonna manage our meetings,
Managing meeting.
meetings, because
What means this one?
managing meetings, like how we gonna prepare agenda of the meetings, how we gonna tell to the
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
participants,
I do
and how
that
we gonna
before.
give
I do that
excellent
before.
Marshall, excellent
Yeah,
Marshall.
I do that.
And then we're gonna how we gonna prepare minutes of meeting, and how we later on circulate these minutes to the attendees, or the meeting participants,
Mhm.
so they can have a clear minutes of meeting, what decisions have been taken and what actions they have to deliver as per the agreed action plan. Then this module 7, more critical and more most important, I would say, the managing conflicts and difficult people. you know everyone is different, mashallah. I hope you understand. Even son is not similar to father.
Inshallah. Inshallah.
Yeah.
I
So
hope also.
so managing difficult people is maybe we can have a 3-day session, separately, managing difficult
Mhm.
people as a profession in a company or at a project site. It's a very detailed topic, but still we will try to cover maximum key points. And
Mhm.
the last one is we truly need to learn the art of relaxation, because we all know
Art
tension
of
is the
like,
big, yeah, tension is the biggest cancer in the world. So how to be relaxed? I mean, after putting your a lot of hard work and day-to-day
Mhm.
busy scheduling of performing different activities, of course, later on you need to learn how to relax your mind, your body, your muscles. So that's all we're
Yeah.
gonna discuss about the art of relaxation in module 8. So total 8 modules are there. And let me be more clear, since you are, mashallah, experienced document control with 3 years experience, and I'm sure
Mhm.
there is no need of a detailed evaluation, but still, time to time we can have some question and answer Q&A session.
Yeah.
So this assessment I'll submit to our certification department, and immediately they will process your certification, inshallah. And in the meantime,
Inshallah.
let me be maybe I will give you my WhatsApp number. So you just need to send me one picture and your Saudi ID. Like Saudi ID means uh,
Batata.
yeah, exactly. So with English, with English name, not in Arabic, because your certificate we have to mention name in English. So please,
Oh, okay.
or you can send your driving license. Either your ID have English name, is okay. Otherwise, your driving license will be okay with that. And with one picture, because that picture we will, put on your ID and as well as the certificate. So you will get 2 documents after successful completion of this training. One is the professional pocket ID, and the second one is the certificate, like A4 size. And that would be, a very
Eh,
unique document as a professional, which will be helpful globally, inshallah. Okay.
Okay. You need this document now or
No. Right after training, then
after?
I'll submit to our
Oh,
examination and certification department.
okay.
So,
Okay.
what do you think, Mr. Mohammed? What are the key challenges you are facing as a document controller? Before we discuss admin or secretary, let me just understand what challenges you are facing as a document controller.
Uh, you,
The
the challenge is,
difficulties,
I
the
think, the time.
difficulties, the challenges. Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm talking about.
the time.
Yeah.
I think the time is sometime, you know, uh, I get some responsibilities,
Okay.
different responsibilities. Yeah, it's too much hard. You know, when you work in some subject, your your supervisor or your manager come to give you also more responsibility. It's very confused, you know.
Totally agree. Totally agree. So overloading and overburden, you know.
Yeah, overloading.
Yeah.
That's
So, and you know, it creates a lot of stress, and stress means anxiety means the blood pressure can shoot up. God forbid. So of course it would be terrible all the way around. That is why, but you know, positively we can understand sometimes the project required 50 employees, but the company is unable
Mhm.
to hire, you know, 50 employees actually. So they try to manage with 40 employees. So while your project required 50 employees and you have 40 employees, so 10 employees burden will be circulated and divided on the brains or the shoulders of other 40, right? So
Yes.
and the second thing is sometimes, you know, it's a human nature to do things as quick as possible, and that's also creates sometimes more stress, because the more thing you will be performing, the company will be giving you more load, of course, you know. Like if I gonna say, oh, I can manage 5 trainings in a day, so they will try to
Yeah.
give me 6 trainings in a day. It's a kind of human
Yes.
nature, or it's a businessman nature, you know.
Exact.
Yeah, so
Exact.
yeah, but this 6 trainings pressure, of course, I have to bear with that, and I should be having that skill how to manage stresses, you know, or the workload actually. So that is why, you know, our Islam always uh, tell us and guide us to be moderate, not to be overburdened, not to be so lazy, you know. So be in the middle of the game and see how you can perform like a winner, and to create a win-win situation for both parties, you know. Because like if you are a businessman, of course you need performance, and if I'm employee, I need some better package or better facilities, right? So then we can,
Right.
and better resources also, so then we can
Yeah.
create a win-win situation. And Mr. Muhammad, maybe it will be important sometimes to speak here, even it's not part of the training here, but still I remember that quote, you know. Sometimes you have responsibilities,
Mhm.
you have
Sorry.
authorities, even you have responsibilities plus
Yes.
authorities,
Mhm.
but no resources, and is equal to nothing. And sometimes what is happening is you have responsibilities but no authorities.
Mhm.
But even though you have
Yeah.
some resources, still the result would not be the good one. Now, what is the right combination then? We must have responsibilities plus authorities
Mhm.
plus required resources. Then we can be a better performer
Okay.
and even accountable, you know. The company top management can ask us, oh, we provided you all the authorities, even the required resources, you know, against all your existing responsibilities. Then now where is the performance, you know? So now you are accountable to produce the results, the output which company top management is of course expecting, you know. But if this triangle is not there, like sometimes you have bonanza of responsibilities but no authorities, or very limited authorities with very less or you know, minimized resources, so of course the result would not be the way our management is expecting, right? So that is why it is very much important to
Huh?
make sure, like you are a document controller, and even you are working in future as an admin manager. Let's take an example of admin manager or administrator of any company, you know. So as an administrator, your major responsibility, of course, would be implementing a lot of rules, policies, procedures, right? And making sure everybody is following these rules. But imagine if you don't have any authority,
Yes.
or you don't have any proper resources,
Mhm.
like no laptop, no proper notice boards everywhere, or maybe no email account or something like that, the small required resources. So can you perform your job better? Of course not. So that is why this
Of
triangle is
course not.
very much important, you know, to make sure. And sometime I encourage my trainees, whenever company is negotiating and giving you more responsibilities, start thinking what authorities and resources you required immediately and acquire and ask them, because don't expect that management will give everything automatically. This is a very misconception in the market. I noted that sometimes we accept blindly the responsibilities, but we don't
Mhm.
negotiate about authorities and even the required resources, because of certain pressures, or maybe lack of confidence, or maybe lack of knowledge at some level. So we blindly accept
Mhm.
the responsibilities, but we don't get required resources and authorities, and but on the other side, company will start asking, you are accountable, you accepted the responsibilities, now where are the results, right?
Mhm.
So that is why it is important to understand, the negotiation power as a professional, whatever position you are accepting with certain responsibilities. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, then now we are going to start module number one, the professional standards.
Okay.
So, might be you have also noticed, like within your company, you might have separate professional standards. And if we talk about Saudi Aramco, might be they have different, more flourished, or the shiny one, some kind of standards. But on the other side, Royal Commission might be they have different standards, professionally sound for them, And then if you talk about Saudi electricity, might be they also have, like they are having some five-star safety programs or different kind of international standards they're falling in. Same way we talk about Sabex, Sadara, or some other local or global brands. So everybody have their own code of conduct or a kind of professional standards they are following. But the major portion of these standards, we truly need to understand the number one always comes integrity, like the goodwill, the trustworthy, you as a professional and the company as a supplier, or as a vendor, or as a servant to the customer. There must be some professional standards, and the number one is integrity, which always need to be considered important, and must be, it's not the responsibility of only the general manager or the managers. Every individual within the company must be responsible for maintaining and sustaining even the integrity of the company, then of course, there must be some ethical inclusive standards, and make sure most of our employees are knowledgeable, because poor knowledge, lack of knowledge, or no knowledge, again, a major disaster in the companies. Because sometime you have projects, but you are unable to get knowledgeable people. Might be you will get mostly manual
Yes.
people, like you need a welder. The welder is there but not knowledgeable, technically not sound, logically not sound, common sense is missing sometime. But you are bound to hire because you have no other option, so what would happen to your project? Of course, more chances of accidents, and more chances of poor quality, and maybe less productivity also, because your welder or your painter or your crane operator, they are not knowledgeable, they are operator, but manually they are good, but overall, scientifically, logically, they are not very well knowledgeable or trained enough, so of course it will have bad impacts on your project, right?
Right.
Same way, if you are an admin officer or you are the company secretary, you have to be knowledgeable, a continual learner, a passionate learner, all the time have a zeal to learn,
Yes.
we sometimes say in our language, in Pakistan, like Urdu, Neem Hakim Khatra Jan. We always say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, So we must try to learn 360-degree knowledge. If we are getting a subject, so we should get the crux of this particular topic, so we can apply in our professional life and getting benefit for us and even for the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And only the knowledgeable people would also not be working well, because we need to ensure they are fully skilled actually. So only knowledge will also not be working. Like we have a lot of knowledge, but no practical experience or no experiment at all. And that means the skills, the confidence skill set is missing. Like
Yes.
today, you are getting this training, but if you don't apply this knowledge within your department or whatever job you're performing, even as a document controller, of course, the knowledge was delivered, but because it is not implemented, so skills hard to be generated as a professional, if we don't apply that knowledge, right?
Right.
So to be fully skillful, we require to apply that knowledge, and implementation is everything. And yes, without trainings, without proper delivering some knowledgeable sessions, it's hard to implement any sort of policies, procedures, or the knowledge related to our industries. No, of course, there must be some advocacy standards as well,
Of course.
and the leadership standards. And Mr. Muhammad, what do you think this leadership, is it only belong to the top management or the managers? This leadership,
What leadership?
yeah, leadership is only
Uh,
belong
uh,
to top management, or you believe it's belong to everyone?
everyone. I think
Everyone.
everyone.
Can you give any example? Like consider if you have a janitor or an office boy. Do you think,
Example for what?
like how are you gonna prove that they can be the leader as well within their area of work? Like a tea boy, like a janitor, like a
Sorry.
machine
Sorry.
operator.
Yes.
Because you mentioned that
Again.
yeah, like you mentioned that everyone is can behave like a leader. So I'm asking, can you give some examples? Like take a machine operator, a crane operator, a welder, an excavator, excavation operator, or whosoever is there, or even a painter, or a standby man, or a confined space supervisor, or a HR manager, or HR officer, or project, whoever is there. Can you give any example how they can ensure their leadership within their department or the job
How
they're
he
performing?
came to leadership, or
Yeah. How you
how
will
he came to?
relate that they are the leaders, they can be the leaders actually within their area of responsibilities.
Without that he cannot come to leadership.
Okay. Like imagine, if you have any individual working in anywhere within your company, if he is not accepting the ownership or not
Mhm.
having the sense of responsibility, that means he's lacking leadership within his own area. So leadership is not like a title that, oh, I'm the leader of the house, I'm the leader of the company. It's not a kind of title.
Mhm.
It's a sense of responsibility, to like it's a role modeling. You have to be a role model and you have to lead by example actually. Let me give you an example. If you have a general manager
Mhm.
and he's coming late every day, and all other employees, what would be the impact?
Uh-huh.
Imagine if a general manager is shouting all the time, what would be the trickle down effect on the brains of others,
Yeah.
Imagine if the general manager is irresponsible, God forbid, and not fulfilling his responsibilities, ignoring plenty of important areas, what would happen to that company even? Same way, think about a crane operator. If he is not inspecting his crane on a regular basis, on a daily basis, before he start operations, what would happen? Think about the forklift operator, think about the document controller, think about the accountant, the financer, so many other professionals are there. If that sense of responsibility is not there, or they are not leading by example, of course the company can't produce the desired results. But thank you very much. You mentioned leadership belong to every individual. And all game starts with behavior. All these things, on the foundation, we required a better behavior, a good mindset, a positive mindset, an optimistic mindset, not the pessimistic.
Yes.
Then if the learning behavior is there, or the positive behavior is there, of course we can enhance the competence level to set our professional standards, and to make sure everybody is following them. Now, today we have social media, right?
Yes.
And if our employees are not understanding the importance of confidentiality, or they don't keep the secrets of the company and publishing every time on social media like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, or some others, what would be happening to the goodwill of the company, and how dangerous it could be if that confidentiality is not respected by every employee? So all these elements clearly, make us understand there must be some professional standards. There must be some professional standards that everybody should be bound to follow. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, are you with me?
Yes, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, so my voice is clear, screen is very much visible, right? You can see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So module 1 is all about to set some professional standards. Now, if I ask you, do you have professional standards for your company?
Professional standards.
For your company, like within your company, do you have?
Yes, same like the command controller and
Excellent. So you have policies, you have procedures, you have certain rules and regulations. Everybody is bound to follow.
yeah.
Excellent, Marshall. So that is all about module number 1, that there must be some professional standards well implemented and must be being followed from all levels of management, including top management, middle management, even the lower management. Now, the module number 2 is all about getting organized.
Okay.
I mean, if as a document controller, let's take an example. If your office table is all the time is full with bunch of documents, at your table, and all the time this area is overcrowded with certain documents and different kind of paperwork, or on the other side, the filing, the way the file should be stored, or the traceability of files. If I need a file number 1 related to project number 99, how fast that document can be traced out. So how much you are organized with your documentation? How do you keep neat and clean to your area, your office.
You need to organize.
Yeah, and even the things to do, like, okay, my things to do for today, item number 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah.
just to be
Yes.
organized.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
this
what
is
I
my
mean.
first priority, this is my second priority,
Mm-hmm.
and then finishing them on time. And it's a
Serially
daily
like
routine.
that. And
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah.
And also, mashallah, you I hope yesterday even you joined. Have you ever heard the word PDCA?
Yesterday.
Yeah, even yesterday you jump in one session was there related to supply chain.
Yeah. With
Yeah,
I think with
yeah,
with Salah Al
yeah, Mr.
Madruni.
Sari.
Yeah.
So we discuss about PDCA. We discuss about PDCA, and PDCA is all about
Yeah.
plan, do, check, act. Plan, do, check, act. So this tool will also help to be organized.
Yeah.
Because it will help to plan every sort of your task, and also it will give you a tool as a problem resolving. You can easily plan, you try to do it, then you check that
Mhm.
everything is okay. If it's not okay, you have some errors, you have some gaps, you take some actions, and you replan, you update your plan. So this cycle always will be helping you, to organize yourself. Even it will be helping professionally, even personally, like if you have some personal development goals, this PDCA would be helping. Same way in your professional life, if you can remember PDCA, plan, do, check, act. And on the other side, you can remember the tool, because every problem have a tool to resolve, right? So you can remember the 5S. It's a Japanese housekeeping technique. 5S. You know, have you ever heard this 5S?
5S.
Yeah, 5S. It will
Where?
also be helping you to be organized within your office, and or even throughout company you can implement that tool, and then things would be properly segregated, properly sustained, set in order, standardization will be there, even shining, like, because 5S means sort, set in order, shine, as well as standardize and sustain.
So again, please.
Yeah,
5S means.
sort mean sorting, don't mix everything, there must be proper
Uh-huh.
segregation. So sorting, like if you have
Uh-huh.
different documents, sort them, make separate files, like you are preparing, Marshall. Every project is having
Yeah.
separate project number, and you are segregating and allocating a file number for
Yes.
easy traceability, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Serially, same like. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
excellent. And now the second step is set an order. So you keep them set an order, and you try to organize and put in place in a way that easily you can pull them out and keep them back again. Then the third S is the shine. Shine means make that area fully neat and clean. No dust, waste is properly managed, you know, no
Mhm.
unnecessary items are there. And every item within your area or your office you have is properly shined or properly cleaned up. Then of course the
Yeah.
number
Everything
4S is
clear.
standardized. Yeah, number 4S is standardized. So standardize everything. Oh, item number 1 or file number 1, this is the place, and always you will take this file from that location and will put back again. So it's a daily habit, standardization.
Yeah.
Even you will allocate the space of your mouse, your laptop, your ball pens, your, you know, even your drinking bottle, I would say. Even the place for your mobile, every time you keep your mobile there, and now every day you remember where your items are because everything is standardized. So
Yes,
you use proper.
very easy also.
Exactly, very easy, Marshall.
Very, very easy to uh,
To
get
find out whatever
what
you
you
find.
want. Yeah, good,
Exactly,
fine.
absolutely right.
Mhm.
Easy to search, easy to manage certain, like if you have 200 files related to one project. So managing 200 files, of course, you need to ensure standardization is there. Otherwise,
Yeah,
things would be messed up.
some
And yeah,
in our job in document controller, we make a master sheet. This
excellent.
master sheet is serially and uh, but some like organize also organize.
Excellent, excellent, Marshall. So we call it master list of documents, and there is a proper document number for each document. And this document you put in file number 1 or file number 9 or file number 30. So
Yes.
clearly you
Yeah.
have proper tracking and traceability. Excellent, Marshall.
Mhm.
Excellent. So it's good you have 3 years experience and more easy for me to deliver this session. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Now the last S is the sustain. Trust me, Muhammad. I can come to your company and maybe all 4S I can implement within 2 or 3 days. But the biggest challenge is number 5S. Number 5S is sustain. So sustainability, maintainability is a huge challenge.
Mhm.
Like I can ensure that the janitors cleaned up everything, proper traceability is there, proper tagging is there. But following the same standards every day or keeping them sustained or maintaining these standards to follow every day, this is one of the critical job and
Mhm.
not easy, to be very honest, because everyone is different by nature, educational backgrounds, the cultural backgrounds, you know. So sustainability is a huge,
Mhm.
like within your office or within your company, if you are going to be the role model and you implement 5S within your department or within even at your office table, trust me, everybody will start looking, oh, you are a role model, because and then they will start copy pasting, you know same standard they will benchmark and
Yes.
start following and implementing. And everybody will be shocked, how come Muhammad implemented all these things, and it's a one time effort. Later on, just you need to maintain or keep them sustained. And sustainability and maintainability, of course, required kind of a daily habit. Like I told you, place for everything, daily housekeeping, and make sure no, if every type of unnecessary items are you are keeping away from your working area, right? And this is how you can be fully organized. And even your daily agenda, your weekly agenda, your monthly things to do. You are very much proactive. You're a self motivator. Every day you motivate yourself, and you think this is my own company. Oh, it's a big company, but this area, this office is my company. So I need to organize my
Yes.
company, right?
This is my word.
Exactly. Absolutely right. So, of course, for more easy, we can create some daily goals, and we can make 5 as our daily goal, part of our daily goals, that every day I'll make sure sortation, like sort is well implemented. I'll make sure set and order is there, even shining or housekeeping is good, and standardization is being followed, and all 4S are well sustained, because there are plenty of benefits of 5S. And some companies, they have 5S certification also separately. And just imagine through this 5S, think about your productivity, your quality, your time management, your stress will be reduced because everything is standardized. Think about
Yes.
your everyday, the enjoyment you're gonna feel within yourself, that my office is well organized. I know everything what I'm going to do today. Even before leaving your office, you have a preset agenda proactively for tomorrow, even what I'm going to do tomorrow and even day after tomorrow. So
Yeah.
what you are doing, you are reducing your stress. You just
Yes.
go back, you enjoy your life with your family, with your friends, and next day you are fully organized because you already planned your day ahead,
Mhm.
and you start your activity on time, you finish on time. You give a
Yes.
reminder to yourself through calendars, through some sticky papers, you know, through some digital
But to
calendar.
plan
Exactly.
plan for
Absolutely.
today and for tomorrow and for
Excellent, Marshall. And you set your priorities, you have your scheduling, and you know what
Mhm.
items are in red zone, which you need to do immediately, and what things you have in yellow zone, like,
Yes.
the red signal, the yellow signal, the green signal. So
Yeah,
even
yeah.
you can implement three color combination for your activities. And then you will have a better understanding day to day what you are going to do. And you have to learn how to prioritize, like if item number or the task number 5 is the most important one, and you are performing task number 9, which is less important, so it will affect your job and it will affect and create stress, because job number 5 was more important comparing to job number 9, so this priority is another element which we're going to discuss, but that's also part of your daily, to yourself, to be organized. And planner will be helping, your planner. I mean, either you are
Yeah.
using the calendar, or you have a diary to note down, or you have a notice board somewhere within your office, or you have something in Excel, like in my case, I have an Excel file and the whole year is planned proactively. If anything is coming newly, because our company, they will book my days in advance. Oh, throughout the like within 2021, these are the contract we have signed with certain companies. These are the trainings already agreed with the date, time, plan, everything. So be ready for them. So proactively things are planned even for a year. But later on, there would be some small changes which we always keep updated, and everything is quite organized. I'm always stress free, especially at home. But the moment I sit in office, immediately I'll open that file and see what I'm going to do today, or what is important within today. First of all, the high top items important, then less important. That's all we will discuss, inshallah. So the third module, Mr. Muhammad,
Yes.
do you need a 5 minute break, or we can keep continue, because it's up to you. I'm okay with that.
No problem. No problem. It's up to you. No problem.
You are comfortable?
Uh, sorry.
You are comfortable? You need 5 or 10 minutes break, It's up to you.
It's up to you. No problem.
Ah,
No
okay.
problem.
Okay. Then let's keep continue, and
If
we
you
can
have,
wrap up
if you
early.
want, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Mr. Muhammad. I don't know either you are enjoying this online training or not, because mostly we have face-to-face classroom-based training, such kind of trainings, But now, because of this COVID and a lot of restrictions, mostly online activities are going on. And I don't know either you are getting some benefit or you are comfortable or not. That's all you can give your feedback later on, Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, the third module
Yeah.
is all about effective communication skills. So this effective communication skills, just for easy understanding, the 7 steps,
Mhm.
you know, the 7 elements which we
Mhm.
truly have to be competent in. First of all, listening, strong observational skills to fully understand the message being conveyed. The active listener, we have to be the active listener, a listener with full
Mhm.
focus. you know
Mhm.
I mean, like, let me give you an example. We are talking to each other and it's a one-to-one session, first time ever I'm delivering. Now imagine physically you are in front of me, but mentally even I don't know where you are. Maybe with your friends or with somewhere with your official activities, or where you are. I don't
Um,
have any idea, right? But if you are listening
yes.
actively, of course you will not miss any important part which need to be understood. Even though you are
Yeah.
educated, you are professional, you
Yeah.
have 3 years experience, but still this active listening will be helping
Mhm.
you know to have something new. Otherwise
Yes.
we can miss out. Now the second thing is the non-verbal communication. The 58% mostly there are non-verbal communication we are using every day.
Mhm.
Can you give any example of non-verbal communication? What do you think? What is non-verbal communication?
I'm like smiles. I'm like
Excellent, mashallah. So
yeah.
it's a kind of body language like posture, gestures, and even eye movement.
Mhm.
Like I'm talking to you and you are watching something else.
Sorry.
Like if this body language, like posture, gestures, and eye movement.
Mhm.
Like if I'm talking to someone
Mhm.
or even talking to you and your eye contact is not there.
Mhm.
So this non-verbal communication, 58% is very much impactful. 58% is non-verbal communication. How we sit, how we stand, how we make eye contact, our body language,
Yes.
the gestures and the eye movement,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
comes under non-verbal. Now, being clear, the third step is the being clear, choosing the right words to deliver a message that's easy to understand. Like you
Yes.
can understand Arabic and I'm talking in English, things wouldn't be so much easy, right?
Yes. Right.
Yeah, so if I can speak Urdu and you can understand Arabic or English, things would be again horrible, right?
Yeah.
Or imagine if I'm using very tough English and you are unable to understand few of the words and the message is not conveyed properly. Again, not acceptable. So the message must be fully clear. Not only clear, even it need to be concise, like using few well chosen words to convey your message. There's a golden word. The quote is there. The brevity is the beauty of English speaking, writing. Brevity means instead of 40
Yeah.
words, you are using 4 important words, and the 40 words message is well conveyed. Like imagine if for this presentation I'm having a lot of words and like a book, and I'm just reading and reading, and we both will be get bored within 1 hour maybe.
Mhm.
So if we are using important words with better explanation, just orally we can talk to each other and start learning from each other, and we are facilitating to each other to learn further. That would be more helpful, right?
Yes. Right.
Yeah. So number 5 is no confidence. No confidence means no better communication. So we have to be confident enough, but not overconfident, because overconfidence is a killer. So the right message with the appropriate non-verbal communication is all you have to be being confident, right? And being personable. Number 6, a friendly tone and a simple smile can go a long way. Instead of having a rude face or angry look or trying to be the angry bird, it's better to be humbled with simple smile and have a friendly tone instead of using negative energy. You are trying to apply positive energy and response will be very comfortable. Like instead of push policy, you are using pull policy. Instead of you know push and pull, choice is our. Like we are pushing one guy every day, oh, do this, do this, do this, why you're not doing this, do every day same
Yes.
instruction. I will
Yeah.
terminate you, I will put fine, I'll tell to accounts department to put your fine for 300 real. Every day you are pushing him and he is unable to follow. Now, the pull policy, we have a one-to-one discussion or a kind of one-to-one meeting, and I have a convincing power, and I deliver the message more politely. And I told, look, goodwill is important, so please maintain your goodwill. I'm working for this company, you are also working for this company, so let's be positively cooperative. Don't take it personal, don't try to be careless. We all are working as a team. So what you are doing, you are trying to convince him, and then later on you're not pushing every day, and the person is already agreed, okay, Mr. Muhammad, I'll be following inshallah whatever you mentioned today, I'll be following all the rules. But if someone is not following you or he is ignoring your instructions, trust me, you don't have convincing power, or you are lacking some motivational skills, how to motivate people to follow your company rules and regulations. Or might be a leadership failure even. So the last one is being patient. It's not like, to be impatient all the time, or, it's much better to be being composed and not rushing when conveying your message. Don't be so fast and don't be so slow sometime also.
Yes.
So again, balance is life. So keep the balance. So if you follow these 7 steps, so it will help you to be effectively communicating as an administrator or even as a secretary of your company. But now we are going to differentiate effective communication skills between business communication skills. Now, for business communication skills, what we are doing, we have internal communication and we have external communication, right? Like people plus company or company plus outside. So within the company and outside the company. Now, between organization and employees, there is communication. Between employees, between organization and customer, and between employees and customers. This is the whole challenge, real world examples of business communication, right?
Yeah.
Now, sometime internal business communication, like if you as a company talking to your employees, you are perfect. But when you are talking to your customers, you're unable to deal them effectively. And that is why your sale is going down. That is why you're not getting more business sometimes, because your external communication with your clients is not good. Now,
Yes.
what important skills we required for business communication? First of all, make sure you have excellent written communication. Like if you got an email from your customer, how you are replying them, what words you're going to use, what logic you will be applying, how much effective reply that should be, that the customer should be happy that he got what he was expecting. But this written communication must be, that means the technical vocabulary or a kind of vocabulary related to your business products, your business processes, the materials related to your company, you have better technical understanding and vocabulary of your company. So that means you have a complete data to deal with your client. And this word bank, this words of bank, what you have related to your company, of course, will be making your communication quite easily with your customer. Mostly, what kind of emails you get as a document controller? Let me create an example. What kind of emails or the messages you get from your clients or from your internal other departments? What kind of emails normally they send?
You ask about me?
Yes, I'm talking to you. Please, what kind of emails you get from other departments or from your client as a document controller on a daily basis or maybe sometime?
Yeah, some document like that.
They need some document?
Yes, need some document, some what's name this app? Drawings. Need some approval.
Okay.
Some certificate like that for people, for employees.
Okay. So how do you reply actually of that email? Consider I send you an email, Mr. Muhammad. I would appreciate if you can provide me the below documents or following documents. I need company policy. I need certain drawings. And thank you very much for your cooperation. Sincere regards and this. No, how you will reply to that email? Will you reply first of all immediately or you will take some time to reply? How much time you take to reply?
Sometime sometime in this time I reply when I have the document. I reply if I don't have the document. I ask some engineer about this document if he have, then I send again. I reply.
Excellent, mashallah. Excellent. So consider if I use 20 words and you are replying me with 60 words, is it a good communication?
I think.
That's why it is important to make sure our communication must be straightforward, to the point, concise. No need to use a bonanza of words. Just the important words to convey our message more effectively. Because our message shouldn't take so much time to read and to understand. It should be short, but perfectly elaborated. And the second skill, of course, active listening, which we already discussed, and team communication between teams, how we are communicating, and persuasive skills and non-verbal communication, which we already discussed. But remember, this team communication is the backbone of every company. Because through this team communication, you are generating a better teamwork and you are motivating to each other and you are cooperating to each other to achieve business goals. If that team communication is poor or lack of communication is there or no communication at all, then that project would be in trouble because of poor communication. Or there is no team communication, like no proper discussion to each other, nobody is helping to each other, mostly are incooperative, then the whole project would be in trouble. That is why this team communication is very much important.
Mhm.
Now, on the other side, we have persuasive and non-verbal communication, which we already discussed. Now, the number 5 module is all about priority and time management. So the graph shows, our 20% effort should generate 80% results actually. If we manage our time properly and prioritize our task more effectively, and we apply the best method through our certain efforts, so trust me, we can generate above than even 80% results. But remember, this energy management plus priority management is equal to time management. Energy management plus priority management is equal to time management. So always we need to avoid from being confused within our office or at our position, whatever we are working for. So if we want to avoid from different confusions or certain kind of stresses, it's really important to prioritize and to manage our time more effectively, because time is money, right?
Yes.
Now, let's take an example of this right side. See, we have urgent, non-urgent, we have important and unimportant. Now, these areas must be like, if I have things to do, like 50 items are there or 50 tasks I have, out of 50 tasks, how many are urgent? How many are important? How many tasks are unimportant at this stage? How many tasks I can drop immediately? So no need to perform,
Yeah.
But if I ignore important tasks or the urgent ones, then a lot of difficulties would be there, God forbid. So what is the best idea? Take your task, put into the do list and prioritize by using this graph: important, unimportant, urgent, not urgent. Then create kind of a project. Oh, this is not the activity, it's a project for me. I need to complete it. And project, don't do anything without planning. Now you need to plan how you have to perform this task. Do you need some cooperation of others? Do you need some resources? How much time proactively you need to plan for this activity? And then of course you can achieve, if you finish that task, the target is achieved. And it can be daily task, it can be weekly task, it can be even monthly task. Proactively mentioned always, oh, this is the most important task every day I have to perform. Now, if I ask you, Mr. Muhammad, do you have some urgent task every day?
No.
Any
Sometimes.
sometimes,
Yeah.
Okay. Any important task every day?
Important task, yeah, every day. Same like I give you example for important tasks.
Okay.
I don't know. Forgot.
Okay, no problem.
Same. Give me example. I give you for
Like,
important.
the important task is you need to file certain documents in different files every day. Like drawings need to be filed every day.
Yeah.
Like filing
Yeah.
of drawings is an important task every day. Or keeping your documents organized as your daily task. So that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so Mr. Muhammad, I might need your email ID as well, so I will send this presentation to you. Okay.
Okay.
So you can have a better reference for future.
You need now or
No, no, later on after finishing this training. So
later?
we are at number
Yeah,
5
okay.
modules. So 3 more modules are there. So we'll wrap up inshallah at 1 o'clock. Inshallah.
Okay.
No, this module number 5 is still time management. What we have to do is have a things to do list.
Diligent. To list.
And focus is power.
Organize. Focus.
Use your power as a focused professional, that you are fully focused, especially for the important and urgent activities, you know.
Mhm.
Be proactive, prioritize, organize, and delegate. So by following these 6 steps, again, you can manage your time well. Otherwise, use another one like managing your time. You have to understand, you know, there must be a to-do list again, organize, prioritize. But remember, no time is equal to low priority. No time. I don't have time for this activity. That means this activity is low priority. And value is equal to time plus money. So irreversible and prioritize. The time must be, you know, to understand. If you are investing your time on certain activity, that means this activity is very much urgent or very much important, you know. That is why this time management skills must be there. How I'm managing. Like if you have 8 hours duty, okay.
Mhm.
I mean, consider in future you will be opening your own company. You will be the businessman, inshallah. So consider you are having one employee as a document controller and having 8 hours duty every day.
Mhm.
1 hour break times.
Mhm.
So 7 hours are there.
Yes.
7 hours multiply is 60 minutes per hour, 420 minutes. Okay. 420 minutes multiply again
Okay.
60. So 25,200 seconds are there for 7 hours. 25,200 seconds. A document controller is investing every day to fulfill his responsibilities. Now, out of 25,200 seconds, how many seconds is totally free and doing nothing? Imagine that time frame and you will be surprised how much time is being wasted by every position within your company. And you'll be shocked. If you can save that much time, might be you can invest that time to other activities and the project value will go up.
Right.
I'm giving one example, one person example. Now take an example of your accounts manager or your account officer or your project engineer. Out of 25,200 seconds as an admin manager, you can ask them, I need the breakdown. Let me know what you are performing every day, how you are using your 25,200 seconds. Because you are paying them for every second. Am I right?
Yes.
Like if you are paying 5,000 real, so you basically purchase 25,200 seconds per day from these guys, and you are paying them 5,000 real per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in return, what you are getting? So if you calculate in such a way, you can easily have the clear understanding through data analysis. Oh, how much time we are wasting. And it's a junky time. We are doing nothing. Or maybe someone is doing so much things, busy all the time, overburdened like you. But there is a guy doing nothing. Out of 25,200 seconds, he is just busy for maybe 1,000 seconds. and rest of the time he's
Yeah.
just enjoying, you know. So this disbalance or kind of irresponsible behaviors on a certain functions of the organization is today or tomorrow would be horrible. That is why we are getting certain projects, we call it lean management, you know. Have you ever heard this tool, lean management? We are getting a lot of projects, you know, for lean management. It's kind of with less resources, maximum output, with less employees, maximum output. And what we are doing is we are eliminating and minimizing the waste. If time is being wasted, we are minimizing. We are making this time productive, position wise, department wise, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, you as a document controller, if overburden all the time, that means there must be justice. Maybe you need one more assistant. If you are overburdened because the project is so big, a lot of files are there, and sometimes you are busy 10 hours, 12 hours.
Mhm.
It's hard to manage because all the time, every department is sending documents and you are filing them. You are not filing them, you are also evaluating. Either the document is, all the signs are there, signatures are done, you know, the dates are there and proper, you know. It's not like just getting the document and file them. Might be you will be evaluating also, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So with that idea, you will have a clear understanding how the time need to be divided activity wise, especially for the urgent and the important task. So this is another tool, you know, as a admin or administrator or secretary, you must have. We call it Lina or kind of Lina even. Listen with interest and praise.
Right.
So Lina says, listen with interest and praise. Make the person feel important. Use their name and ask questions. So you can use this Lina for dealing with difficult people or a kind of any kind of team members you have internally or even externally. So always listen with interest and praise them if they are saying something good and make the person feel important. You know, it's a human nature. Everybody want to be respected and appreciated. It's a human nature, Mr. Muhammad. That's why make the person feel important and use their name. Instead of saying sir, madam, better to use their name and they will feel better, you know. Sometime maybe in Middle East, it can go against you as well, but still mostly companies, they prefer to call by name. So ask questions. By asking questions, of course, the clarity would be there. So number 6 module, Mr. Muhammad, we have managing meetings. So if you follow these 8 steps, you can manage your meetings effectively. First of all, plan the meetings in advance on a planner and stick to it. It's not like planning, replanning, and every time plan is being changed. Have a fixed schedule and stick. Yes, little bit flexibility is acceptable, but not like you planned a meeting at 11 o'clock. Now there is another call and somebody is not available, and the second time is 12 o'clock. Now again someone is not available, and now the third time is 1 o'clock. So planning, replanning, or changing your plan drastically every time is not acceptable. It's not a good practice. So number 1 step, plan the meeting in advance on a planner and stick to it. Have a management team with personnel from all areas. So make sure you have coordinators from every department. It's not like just meeting between 2-3 departments. There must be representation of all the departments. So have a management team with personnel from all areas. Circulate the previous minutes and good time for the meeting, because previous minutes of meeting should be shared. So everybody have an idea what was discussed and agreed in the last meeting, what decisions were there, what actions you truly need to take. comparing to, your set targets as per the last meeting, then of course the managing director should attend the annual meeting at least at a minimum. Not every time the managing director or the general manager must be in the meeting, but at least for important meetings or any sort of management meetings like management review meetings there annually, they must be available. Then number 5 is ensure designated actions are followed up. It's not like just have decisions and action plan and nobody is following up. Like if the action item is the quality policy or the rules and visitors rules and regulations will be implemented within July 2021, then it must be implemented and being also someone need to be followed, that the rules and regulations related to visitor security and control are well implemented. Then of course provide feedback to other personnel within the organization. Feedback is important, to other person within the organization. Top management should determine chair of meetings. You truly need a top management commitment basically. And they must be determined to chair the meetings, not all the meetings, but at least the most important one. And encourage recommendations for improvement. Nobody should be silent in a meeting. Everybody should contribute by giving ideas, suggestions, or highlighting some of the issues related to the department. It's not like only the general manager is talking and everybody is listening and forgetting everything. If someone is silent in a meeting, motivate him to speak up. Might be he has a lot of stories to tell, but not feeling comfortable or not happy the way the meeting is going on. Might be no encouragement to him. So that means brands of ideas he's keeping in his mind and not sharing. So there must be some encouragement. That is why sometimes the companies, they have separate suggestion boxes, and what they are highlighting, best suggestion provider of the month, best suggestions provider of the month. Best idea provider of the month. So many companies, they started this journey, like they have list of ideas every day, people are giving recommend, and some companies have even award for the risk reporters, or the near miss reporters, best near miss reporter of the year or of the month, best safety personnel of the month, best administrator of the year. So what you are creating, you are creating a rewarding environment and making sure people are taking interest, and out of these ideas and suggestions and kind of data, you start putting out the right ideas and suggestions and start implementing. And sometimes one idea can take your company at a certain big level, because your idea is your net worth sometimes. Same like your network is your net worth. Same way, your best ideas are your best asset of the life actually. That's why sometime by purchasing one idea, we pay a lot of money, But if we are getting free from our employees, this opportunity shouldn't be lost. So through this way, we can encourage all the mind to speak up and give some ideas and suggestions, or even complaints, So manage the meeting efficiently. You can have, it is time to start the meeting. Are you on the schedule according to the agenda, or the next action to do following the meeting, or the specific individual responsible for each act? So ask these 4 questions to yourself and see either the meetings are being managed efficiently, yes or no. So the moment I'll send this presentation to you, whenever you get time, you can just review and follow or implement, and might be you are following already, but still if something is new, you can still incorporate within your day-to-day activities, Now, the second last module, number 7, is managing conflicts and difficult people. So Thomas Kilman conflict mode instrument is there already, you know, which we can apply, and mostly companies are following the same one. So what is more important is triple C and double A. Triple C, double A means competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating. You can be cooperativeness, or you can follow the cooperativeness or even assertiveness, depends on you. But what is competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, and accommodating? Competing means one party seeks to satisfy interests regardless of the impact to other party. That is all about competing. So even in competing, you have a positive sense of responsibility. You know, it's a positive competition, not the negative one. The second is collaborating. Means both parties win. Third C is the compromise. Both parties win and give up something. So both parties have some compromise. Avoiding, one or both parties seek to suppress the conflict. Otherwise, accommodating, one party yields the win to the other party. So it depends, either you have importance of a relationship low or high, or importance of achieving goal low or high. So based on this triple C and double A, the whole strategy will go up. Either you are competing, collaborating, compromising, avoiding, or accommodating. It depends, either you're giving importance to relationship. Hello? Are you with me? Yeah, Mr. Muhammad? Mr. Muhammad?
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Muhammad, are you with me? Hello? Yeah, Mr. Muhammad? Hello? Hello? Mr. Muhammad? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, Mr.
Sorry,
Muhammad.
I think my mobile is hang or the program is hang. I don't know.
Okay, it's okay, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay, so we
Thank
have 10-15 more minutes, and the last module is there, the art of relaxation.
Mhm.
So basically, it's a 5 minutes relaxation solution is provided. But remember, the most important is happiness is the art of relaxation. You know, Maxwell mentioned that happiness is the art of relaxation. But how to be happy, how to find a way to be happy, everybody have a different strategy to be happy, you know. But what we can do is the 5 minute relaxation solution is the dead pose, the deep breathing, visual imagery, or even progressive muscle relaxation, stretching like neck roll, shoulder shrug, or side stretch, standing body roll, or self massage. So these are 5 minutes relaxation solution, because all the time working, and not taking certain kind of relaxation breaks, you know, like no tea breaks, 7 hours continuously you are busy, or no 1 hour break. Just imagine what would happen, you know. So we all actually have to learn how to manage our boss. So I added 4 P's of personalities. Okay, there could be like peaceful, popular, perfect, powerful, the boss. The task can be open, can be closed through people. That's all, you know. So all 4 P's kind of personalities we need to manage. If our boss is peaceful, how we are going to manage? If he's popular, powerful, and perfect. If the 4 P's combination is there in one personality, how we are going to, you know, so just open the task and close. And, you know, prioritize. That's why it says, you know, leave everything behind. If your boss is saying, oh, this is most important, so consider it is most important, even you know it's not important, but that is your assumption. Might be for your boss is more important because of a customer, because of some other company, you know, conditions or situations. So of course, you need, I mean, you need to put behind your priorities. I mean, you first listen carefully, proactively, and actively to your boss, and might be you can give priority as number 1 to your boss. You know, that's how the thing should move on sometime, because boss will not come every day. You know, he might be in a week, he will tell, oh, this is most important, forget Mr. Muhammad everything else, just do this one. So then avoid debating, or no need to, you know, argue with that. So just do it, and continue with your prioritization and all that.
Yeah, every day I listen that.
Yeah. Now, what are the qualities of a great secretary? Because as an admin officer or as an administrator, of course, you need plenty of things. But as a great secretary, some special skills you require, that is listed here. Okay, so total top 6 I can mention here: the organized and detail oriented. You know, a great secretary, he will not ignore even a single word. He will read properly, logically understand, and then start acting accordingly. And then up-to-date skills and the ability to learn new skills, because secretary is kind of a front leader working with CEO or the managing director or sometimes the general manager. So of course that secretary should be a keen learner, and every day is learning something new and keeping his skill set updated. You know, the secretary must be able to listen well and present solutions rather than dwell on problems. You know, he must be problem resolver, not the problem creator. So a secretary must present a professional appearance and attitude at all times. You know, the professional secretary means a good tie, coat, pant, something, you know, the professional dressing all the way, and attitude mean with good smile and very polite and humble discussion and kind of communication. And also he must have a terrific spelling and grammar skills and knows how to interpret the boss, you know, hierarchical graphics, because sometimes the boss is expecting something. So he must be capable. And the other way is the accuracy. He must make sure the accuracy in everything. He can take more time, little extra time, but ensure accuracy in grammar and spellings and all that. And the secretary must be capable to understand the business pressures, because might be the boss, the managing director, the CEO of the company, or the general manager, they are dealing more than 100 customers. And every day there are new challenges, and sometimes they are dealing to government agencies, regulatory bodies, third-party certifications, different NGOs, different kind of global organizations, and might be they have business expansion plans, or they have certain business growth plans. So all are pressures actually. So the secretary must understand all these pressures and support their boss accordingly. They must be capable in writing email, listening phone calls, recording everything, giving feedback to the boss, and make sure things are done as per the preset schedule. Okay, Mr. Muhammad. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you so
I
much.
tried my level best to just deliver the maximum key important areas, but I'll still send you this presentation so you can have whenever you get time. Just, and if you get something new, just add into it. Like you can prepare more slides as per your future learning and keep this presentation updated for your reference. And you can use it as an internal trainer also, like for administration and secretarial skills. You can be the internal trainer also, because since you will be certified, so no harm to deliver some sessions to your other department heads or other branches or projects.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Muhammad. So please, can you turn on your video for a second? So just one screenshot, and then I need your WhatsApp number. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'll give you my mobile number.
Okay.
Take 057.
Yeah, just you can just 1 second. There is a
Okay.
chat box.
Where? Chat box, yeah. I go to chat box.
Yes. So just mention your name and your WhatsApp number, so I will send you the message.
Okay. 057.
I send you one message. Please, your WhatsApp number.
Yeah. This is my mobile number, WhatsApp number.
Okay.
Then also only my mobile number.
Yeah, your WhatsApp number.
You asked me about my ID, I think, or
yeah,
my
no,
name.
I will send you hello hi message on WhatsApp, so you can share one picture and your ID, and same I will share with our certification department. Okay.
Okay.
And mashallah, you are very much knowledgeable, and alhamdulillah, because you are working as a document controller, so you are involved already everywhere within your organization. So alhamdulillah.
Thank you, sir.
So still we need your one picture and your ID. So immediately we'll process your inshallah certification. Okay.
Inshallah.
So nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.